All right. This one is on principles, man. Everybody been asking me to tell them about principles and how principles fall into prison and the street. So I'm gonna break the two of them down. This video is on principle. All right. Alright, you know what it is. Unique Mecca audio, man. Like I said, this video is on principles, man. Principle is a key word you gotta remember. Principle, honor, and loyalty. Principle, honor, and loyalty. Those are words that's famous in the prison because this is what the men go by. Alright? Now, on the street, somebody step on your shoes back in the early 80s. We talking about back with the shell-toe Adidas, and the Pumas and the Stan Smith and the British Walkers and the Playboys, all right? Now, somebody step on your shoes, you cut them in the face. You know what I mean? Somebody step on your shoes, you shoot them. You know what I mean? Not telling nobody, shoot nobody, cut nobody in the face, just telling you how our mentality was back then. So don't do none of this. Don't think none of this is for none of that. This is just so that you know what time it is. And the twisted mentality, of certain individuals. Okay? So now, a dude sit there and shoot somebody because he stepped on his brand new Adidas he just paid $40 for. You know what I mean? That's what they cost back then, $40 for a pair of shell toes. Dude stepped on his sneakers, he shoots him, he in court, he talks to his man on the phone, and this man said, "Yo, dog, why'd you shoot him?" "Man, they stepped on my shoes." He said, "My nigga, you got about $3 grand in your pocket. We just pulled the lick off." And the first thing he gonna say is, it was the principle of the thing. The principle, you in jail getting ready to face life because dude died, and you telling me you did it because of the principle? He said, "Yeah, don't nobody step on mines and carry on like that." You know what I mean?
Mecca what? Mecca audio.
All right, let me finish. So now, that's one. That's on the street. Now we're going to take it into prison, So let's say, I'm going to tell you one that happened with me. Principle. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you about the principle. I'm going to tell you the other joints first, and then I'm going to tell you what happened with me. All right. The principle is somebody reached over your food in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like they want to get a napkin off the table. Violation. You know what I mean? Even if it's a homeboy, but if it's not a homeboy, that's reasons to kill. You know what I mean? If somebody from another set come in your area, in your table where y'all eating at, and reach over the table to get something, that's a violation. You gotta stab him. Now, a homeboy do that, you gotta check him. When you check him, it depends how the homeboy gonna respond to it. The homeboy might be like, nah. You know what I mean? We ain't going for that. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing. I ain't mean nothing by it. Nigga washed. You know what I mean? All these excuses that they saying. And dude looking at, "Yo, dog, you trying to tell me that you ain't going to apologize for reaching over my food?" To be like, "Nah, man, I was just getting a napkin." You know what I mean? He ain't trying to hear. Next thing you know, they in there fighting. You know what I mean? Now the two of them in a hole. And then you ask either one of them, "What happened? Why y'all back here?" He said, "Man, he violated me." "But that's the homie. He was just reaching to get a napkin." "Yeah, but he reached over my food. So I stabbed him." So he'd be like, "For what?" "It was the principle of the thing." That's the principle. You know what I mean? The principle is that you got to show that you hard at all times. So now, let's say you standing on, the phone line, you waiting on the phone, and a dude come and cut in front of you on the phone. The phone opened up and he just walked right to the phone because he was looking for his number or whatever. You know what I mean? And he had to run back to his cell to go get his phone book. He run back to his cell, go get his phone book. He come back out and he goes straight to the phone, But when you walk up, you see the phone empty. So you go and you reach for the phone and you call your peoples. And then the dude come out there and he look, and he's telling you, "Yo, I was on the phone. Why you do that?" You be like, "Man, wasn't nobody on his phone. The phone was hung up and it was sitting here. Now I went to get my book." You know what I mean? Wrong. Don't get in no dialogue with no brother in prison over nothing. Either you're going to bust off or you're going to leave it alone. Because once you start talking, then you fall into the principle of the thing. you know? So now dude get vexed, he walk away, he come back with his knife and he stab dude while he on the phone. You know, they had to airlift him out to the hospital. So now they airlift him out to the hospital and dude in the hole for stabbing him. And his homeboy asks him, why'd you stab him? You know what I mean? Dude don't be wanting no trouble. All he had to do was tell him that you had next on the phone. Now he started questioning me, man, and it's the principle of the thing. Remember that, the principle of the thing. And you know, that's crazy. Just remember that word. So now, that's how that go. So let's give you another one real quick. I don't like the way he was talking to me. I called his name and he said, what? You know what I mean? Like I'm some kind of bitch or something. He said, what? You know what I mean? So I stabbed him. Why you do that? The principle of the thing. You see how the principle plays out and everything? The principle dictates how you act, you know, by how you want to be viewed and what you're going to allow, you know, to ride and not ride, you know? So let me give you another one. Now I'm going to tell you about me, then I'm going to tap this out. I just want to give you the principle, you know what I mean? But I'm going to give you another one real quick, and then I'm going to go there. You got a dude that's running the ticket. He got 5,000 books on the ticket, $5 a book. 5 times 5,000, he penitentiary rich. You understand? Y'all remember what penitentiary rich is? You know what I mean? He penitentiary rich. You know, he got plenty of stamps, so he do what he want. He penitentiary rich. He got 5,000 books. A dude play a ticket. You know what I mean? And dude lost the ticket, but the dude that was collecting the ticket forgot to get the stamps from him, so he go back there and get his book, and he say, man, that game over. I'm not paying for that. You didn't get my stamps, so therefore I don't owe you anything. He'd be like, nah, you put the ticket in. If you the one, you came to get your money. Now you lost, I came to get my money. And he tell me, I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm not paying nothing, man. You know what I mean? I ain't give you no stamps for no ticket. I mean, I ain't have no ticket. But if you the one, you know what I mean? So now, the dude with the 5,000 book ticket hustle is arguing with a dude for one of these. And he got 5,000 of them. And he winds up stabbing this dude and damn near killing him. So I'm telling you, youngins, don't go to jail so you don't get caught up in this foolery, but listen to the story. Hit that like button. Hit that Cash App button. And follow me on Instagram at Unique Mecca Audio. Now, let's not forget the book of Rowan Harlem. Okay, so now, he stabs him over one book when he got a 5,000 book hustle. Now he in the hole. He done lost all his stamps. Police ran up in his cell, took all his stamps, locked him down in the whole 9. Now after all that happened, he's sitting there looking all crazy, wondering, what the hell did I do? You know? So a dude asked him, dog, you had the biggest ticket on the compound. You was making about $2,000 a day. And he's like, man, it was the principle of the thing. You see how the principles get you in all kinds of problems? The principle make you do things that you ain't got no goddamn business doing, and ain't got no, no legitimate explanation. So you say, it was the principle of the thing. You stabbed the dude over one of these goddamn books that cost $5 when you got over $5,000 worth of books. You got over $10,000 worth of stamps, and you stabbing the dude over $5, and you telling me it was the principle of the thing. You done blew everything, lost all your money, lost your cell, lost your property, getting transferred, lost good time, but it was for the principle of the thing. You see what I'm saying? Pay attention now. All right? Just so you understand. Calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. So now, we got that principle out the way. Let me tell you how my principle scenario came out. And you tell me, what you think. All right. Me and my homie, one of the homies from New York, we go to the law library every day, We in Coleman, Florida. We go to the law library every day. We do what we got to do. We studying and doing the law and looking up cases and getting things typed up and doing research. This is my man. Then here comes Obama with the clemency. Obama starts the clemency. The clemency gets started. So me and him put in our paperwork for the clemency at the same time. He got a murder, I got a kingpin charge. It's hard as hell to get a clemency, period, much as with a goddamn kingpin charge or murder. But when we both put him in, 2 weeks later, they send back and they deny his joint because the murder, they said he had a violent charge, but they held on the minds to review it because they said that I just had a drug charge. So they call it drug charge a nonviolent charge. Okay? So now, I'm sitting there and they call me for medical one day. I go to medical, I come back in the unit. When I come back in the unit, my homie that just lost his clemency is sitting in the cell and he got 2 other, non-manuscript dudes that's not even from New York with him, but those is his homie, but they run with New York. You know what I mean? They hang with him. Let's put it that way, so you can call it they run with New York. So he's sitting there with these two dudes in the cell. So I go in and, I'm like, what's up, son? And he's like, nah, open the locker. I'm like, open the locker? And he's like, yeah, open the locker. This is my man talking. So I'm thinking he's joking. I said, man, come on, get up out of here. He said, nah, dude broke, he needs some stamps. Talking about his man. You understand what I'm saying? That was with him. I said, what him being broke got to do with me? Nigga, you need to get up out my cell. And he's like, nah, I'm telling you, man, he mad. You know what I mean? He want to take it there with you because you eating and he not eating and feel you not breaking bread. I said, man, I'm not breaking bread with nobody that don't take the same penitentiary chances I take. You know what I mean? So dude went to go reach in his pocket, so I grabbed him by the hand. And we wrestling. You know what I mean? So we get to fighting in there. So him and, my homie and the other two dudes that's in there, you know what I mean? The other dude backed up like he holding the door down, you know what I mean? Make sure nobody come in or out, I guess dude trying to rob me, So now while he holding the door down, my homie now, the one that lost the clemency, that brought him up to my domain, which was an ultimate violation. He should have got his head chopped for that. But it was the principle of the thing. All right? So now, he in the middle, he trying to break it up because he sees it's going out of hand and I'm not going for the jukes. You know what I mean? So we in there wrestling and fighting. So I go to pushing him out the door. My homie between them, he trying to separate me and dude, and he pushing dude out the door. I'm pushing him out the door. He telling dude, nah, that's the homie, da-da-da. But if you knew that was the homie, why you bring him in my cell? I guess he figured it was going to be an easy picking because I had my clemency in, and they know I didn't want to mess the clemency up. But this is where the principle would have got me. Remember that? The principle of the thing. So now, the principle was, that I stabbed my homie for even bringing him in my cell. Not telling anybody stab anybody, that's not where we at. Let's get that straight. But I'm just letting you know the penitentiary rules and how it play out. That's what the principle called for, him getting stabbed. You understand? For bringing him up there, and definitely they get stabbed for even coming up there. But he's the one in ultimate violation. So now he trying to calm it down and da-da-da-da. So on the way out, the dude I was pushing out the cell, I had so much stuff in my locker, food and, all types of zooms and whams. You know what I mean? My electronic dictionary, radio, speakers, I got everything. So I'm living lavish. But everything is in my locker, so when the police come around, they see any of that stuff, they call it contraband because they don't sell it on commissary, so they gonna take it from you. So as long as you lock it in the cell, they don't say nothing. So if the lieutenant look in the cell, he don't see this homemade speaker and say, nah, get that. You know what I mean? So we up there and, we wrestling and I push him out the cell. So while I'm pushing him out the cell and we tugging to get out the cell and the homie in between trying to calm things down, he grabs a bag of soup. I had a bunch of butt-naked soups and a few cup of soup. It was about maybe $5 worth of soup, $6 worth of soup. So I'm pushing him out the door, but the soups is bulky. So it's a big laundry bag like this because, 50% soup is like this. So, 10 of them make a bag look like this. Then I had like maybe 5 of the other little butt-nakeds in there. You know what I mean? I used them for the season pack when I cook. So now we sitting in there chilling, and he grabs the bag and runs out the room. And they just called a move, so he about to go out the door. We in the penitentiary, so they got metal detectors in the front of the door. I'm upstairs in cell 202. As soon as you go downstairs, the metal detector there, and the police stand the metal detector to make sure the metal detector don't go off. So if anybody come in and the metal detector go off, ring, 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 they know to pull them over, search and make sure they ain't got a knife, so-called keeping it safe. But anyway, so dude grabbed a bag of soups and run downstairs. So now when he run downstairs, I go behind him and I go grab my knife. You know what I mean? Now, not tell nobody run grab no knife or nobody do nothing to you, just telling you how it played out. You know what I mean? That's why I say don't go to prison so you ain't got to make these choices. So I grab my knife and I run down the stairs and I'm getting ready to put my work in on this dude. You know what I mean? Because that's the principle of the thing. He took something from me. I got my clemency in. I'm looking at finally going home after 2 decades in prison. My locker fat, you know what I mean? My stamp game is way up. You know what I mean? And I'm getting visits, every other week. But I'm going to give all that up because it's the principle of the thing. Nobody can take nothing from us. So right there, I had to do what they call rational thinking, like rational self-analysis. You know what I mean? I had the rationale with myself. So I got the knife and I'm getting ready to go downstairs, but I'm seeing this clemency, I'm seeing my kids, I'm seeing my mother waiting on me, I'm seeing everything. But the principles say you got to put the knife in them. So I run downstairs with the knife ready to act on the principal, and I see the police looking, and the police like he must have knew what was going on because he shook his head. You know what I mean? So I stopped dead in my tracks. So I knew he gonna give me a pass. You know, so I let him ride. Dude walk out the cell, walk out the unit with the bag of soups. So you know how dudes like to instigate. We're around a bunch of gladiators and all that. So they say, oh, yo, dude, rob unique. You rob unique for $5. My man took $5 worth of soup out my cell, but he robbed me. The principal say I stab him and give up my freedom, my clemency, you know, disappoint my kids. You understand what I'm saying? Lose all my contraband in my cell. Lose everything because it's the principle of the thing. You know, back in the 90s, I would have put the knife in him. But now I'm a little older, so I used a little, you know, rational self-analysis and got this thing right. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. Hold on. Let me get to that. Let me get to that.
Mecca what? Mecca
All right.
audio.
So now, this where we at. So we run out the door. He getting ready to leave. So now he walks out the cell with mama. You know, he walk out the unit with a bag of soups. So now dudes on the compound and say, man, Unique got to put the knife in him because it's the principle of the thing. So all the dudes are saying, but Unique finally got a chance to go home. That nigga live in the law library. But then of course you got the haters saying, but it's the principle of the thing. So now I had to deal with, if I was going to deal with the penitentiary principles, I was going to make my own principle. So that's why I'm talking to you youngins. Sometimes you got to make your own principle. Look where I'm at. I'm sitting here on YouTube. Instead of sitting in a cell, I'm sitting in a joint, look just like a cell with all this technology. And the dude that took the soups from me, you understand what I'm saying? He's still locked up doing 40 years for murder. You know what I mean? And the other dude that was faking like he had the knife in his pocket, I told about him too. He's the one that went on a visit, tried to bring in some heroin and shit, busted his stomach, and he OD'd. So I didn't have to put the knife in either one. I let God handle it the way he had to handle it, you know. But I had homies that, you know what I mean, big shout out to my man Jabril out of Philly, you know what I mean? My man Jabril and them, you know what I mean? No Limit, you know, from DC, official dude. You know what I mean? Jabril from Philly, y'all wanted the Philly story. My Philly homie helped me down to 100%. He said, yo, whatever you want to do, Unique, I'm with you. You know what I mean? All you got to do is make the call. You know what I mean? And he ready to go. My man from Philly. My man from DC, No Limit, the one that, you know, calmed it down. You know what I mean? And then we had another brother from North Carolina. You want North Carolina call to see how people come to each other's rescue. You know, another big brother, you know, Abu. If anybody know Abu from North Carolina, tell him to get in touch with me. Abu was disappointed in me because he was still living under the principal code of the prison and was like, forget all that going home. But Abu had a date to go home in like a month and a half. But I'm sitting here with life plus 20, but Abu expected me to stab the dude. You understand what I'm saying? For the principle of the thing, and give up and risk never going home and not sitting here on YouTube. Big shout out to my man Abu. Love him to death. You know what I mean? But, you know, sometimes we get caught up in the penitentiary rules and penitentiary politics, and sometimes you got to know how to pull yourself out of it. That's why I tell the youngins, don't get involved in it so you don't have to be in it, don't have to be a part of it, and don't have to deal with none of that. The principle of the thing. So now, I winds up getting transferred over to, you know, a medium. You know, because I didn't put the knife in him. I had good time. I gave him 20 years in the penitentiary. That one thing would have stopped the medium, stopped the clemency, stopped the, you know, the hustle, stopped the visits. You know, they would have took all my shit if I would have acted on what they call the principle of the thing. You know what I mean? So now I had to worry about if I'm going to worry about dudes saying, oh, he took something from you. Nah, my nigga. You know what I mean? I'm out here. I'm free. I ain't tell on nobody. I ain't tell on him. You know what I mean? I let it be what it is. Before I left, you know what I mean? Dude came up to me and he handed me a big ass bag of commissary, you know, with mackerels and all that. And he said, yo, I'm sorry, man. I've been saving these up for you, man. I didn't know it was going to turn out like that. I was just a little vexed that you got the clemency, you know, was still pending and they denied my shit. You know what I mean? I said, yeah, so you put a battery in this nigga back. I said, all right, well, I'm not even going to react on it because right now I'm on my own rules instead of penitentiary rules. You know what I mean? But, you know, I didn't take the mackerel for it. So I'm getting ready to leave, so you keep that because I'm getting ready to give away most of this stuff anyway. I'm not carrying all this shit with me to the medium. But that's how that played out. That's what you call the principle of the thing. You understand? The principle. Remember that. You understand what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in that. Now, this is where I tell you, hit the like button, hit the Cash App. You know what I mean? The phone number is on the screen. You want to get on the show, you want to holler at me or whatever. But no, use the Cash App. And we got the book of Raw in Harlem. So I'm going to just tap out and we're going to close out right now and just say, this is it, man. All right? Let's go.
Hi guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located in Freeport on the Nautical Mile. Just wanted to introduce my partner, Amy.
Hi guys, how are you? And this is my sister-in-law, Diana, another partner. I just ask that you come support our minority-owned business. We serve Asian fusion, Caribbean cuisine, and we have a beautiful restaurant located on the Nautical Mile in Freeport, New York. And we're asking that you come check us out and also make sure to tune in to Mecca Audio TV.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?